People are starting to rock in now, so.
All right, we might as well kick off. And as we continue our live online meetings, this one's about going live and creating video content for Facebook and Instagram. So I'm really looking forward to this one because I know it captures people's imagination far more than written or just plain text. People do want to watch video content more, and I guess by making it more engaging, increases your chances of making more sales. So Council and the Chamber of Commerce are really pleased to continue to bring you these events. And one of the things that we're considering is how we can continue these into the future, whether we continue them on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, or just to see what the demand is and the types of topics that people want. So if you have any feedback and any comments on the types of topics that you'd like to see presented in this format, please let me know, and we'll do our best to accommodate. But I'll hand you over now to Glenn and Wade of Resolve Business Coaching, who will continue on with the great presentations we've been having. Thanks.
Thanks, Megan. A massive shout out to Kiama Council, Kiama Business Chamber for putting these webinars on. I've been hearing a lot of great feedback from a lot of you guys who have been attending the webinars. And so it's really good to bring some value, particularly to the local community. Plus, we have people watching these webinars from all over the world, which is really exciting and good to see. So, all right, we're going to get started. Wade Stewart is with me as well. He's in the office here, but he's in another room. He's going to be joining us for the Q&A afterwards, and he more so will probably chime in throughout the presentation as well, because video is really one of Wade's main strengths. He runs Atmosphere Productions and does a very high quality video content with a lot of businesses and a lot of business owners, and helps them with that video content and forming digital marketing campaigns from that as well. So he might chime in through the video as well, through the webinar. And we're going to get started. So today is all about going live, predominantly on Facebook and Instagram. So let's rip in and talk about some of the key benefits to going live. You guys probably know who I am by now, Glenn Hayworth from Hayworth Guitars, and also from Resolve Business Coaching here in Kiama. The live videos for us have been a real strength at Hayworth Guitars. They've helped us to really engage with our audience and to really build a strong following, particularly now on Instagram these days. We have a very strong following on Instagram at Hayworth Guitars, and quite often our live videos will get a couple of 100, 300, sometimes 400, 500 people watching at one time with our live videos on Instagram. They get a lot of attention, and they do very, very well for us. So I'm gonna use Hayworth Guitars a lot today as a really like a case study for a lot of the live video content that I'm going to be talking about. And for you guys, we're going to be focusing on why making live video content is important for your business. We're going to talk about the barriers sometimes that business owners face when it comes to making live videos and how to overcome those barriers. We're going to talk about how to make the perfect live video, what are the keys to making a live video and to making it work. We're going to talk about what to do with the video after you've gone live, keeping that video and sending that video out and using that for your marketing. How can you use that video after you go live, and using the video as part of your overall digital marketing strategy. So that's what we're in store for today, guys. Let's rip right in. Let's talk about why would you go live? Going live, I've got a screenshot there of our Hayworth Guitars Facebook page from a while back when we did a live video. Look, we go live to connect with our customers and to offer value to your audience. Look, there's no better way to connect with your customers than a video. I think video is one of the most engaging forms of content that you can do, and particularly when you do a live video, you just have that interaction, that back and forth with your customers at the same time, where they can ask questions. You can see who's joined the conversation. You can ask them questions and have that interaction. Some of the things that we do with our live videos at Hayworth Guitars is, we'll talk about, we'll post, in the description on Facebook there, for an example, what we're talking about, what we're showcasing. But we'll also say, send through any song requests. And Ryan, a lot of the time, will play these song requests. So it's a really cool back and forth where people are requesting songs. Ryan's playing them, trying to play them. And we're talking about the guitar. People are asking questions about the features of the guitar and what things we would recommend. So it's a really great way to engage with your audience and to connect with them doing these live videos. It helps to build trust and authority. You know, the more we go live, the more we do these videos, the more we talk about the features of the guitars and you know, some of the key benefits to certain types of guitars. It helps to establish us more as the authority, as the experts in the industry. It helps to gain a great reach. You know, Facebook and Instagram love live videos. They do their part to get the live videos out there and to make sure that your audience knows when you go live. It's very, very powerful, these live videos, because Facebook and Instagram want people to join your live videos. They want them to work. They want people to engage them. So they'll notify your followers that you're going live. And so it is a really good way to gain reach. And it helps, as I said, to build an audience for targeted marketing, which I'm going to talk about in the webinar today as well. All right, so let's talk about getting over the barriers. What are some of the barriers to going live? What are some of the problems that we face to go live, and how do we overcome them? What often holds us back? Often making video content, doing live video, people will say, I just don't have time. You know, as business owners, we're very busy. We have to wear a lot of different hats these days. You know, running our business, and then also thinking about the marketing, thinking about the digital side of things, social media, our websites, the online presence. There's a lot of things to manage. So lack of time can be a big barrier to doing these videos. Lack of knowledge, well, that's what we're going to work on today. Lack of confidence can be one too. Just getting in front of the camera and actually not knowing what to say can be a bit of a fear for some people, and fear of being judged as well. So let's talk about how we can get over some of these barriers to going live. Look, lack of time. The key that I've noticed to getting over the lack of time when it comes to doing these live videos is, well, you know, I'm going to talk about it in the webinar too, but basically forming a schedule so that you schedule it into your day and you make time for it. But a lot of the time we try and be too fussy sometimes and try and worry about doing the perfect video. And Gary Vee uses this saying, he says, document, don't create. Right? A lot of the time we're thinking about, how do I create the perfect piece of content? How do I create the perfect live video? How do I do this? Well, look, really it's about documenting what's happening in your business rather than thinking about what do I need to create, right? So think about your day-to-day, think about things that are happening in your business, things that your customers are going to be interested in, right? And think about how you can document that. And that's what live video is great for. So when it comes to lack of time, think about just incorporating that live video into your schedule, into your day-to-day. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes out of your day to film a quick live video on some key events that are happening for you at the moment. I'm going to give you guys some ideas on what to make the live videos on. But lack of knowledge, well, it's just about learning more about it and just going out there and doing it. And this is a good place to start this webinar here. Lack of confidence is ultimately just getting in front of the camera and just practicing and realizing that, look, the people who are good on video and good in front of cameras, they weren't good at the start, right? We see them when they're at their A game, when they've had a lot of hours, a lot of practice, you know, a lot of experience in front of the camera. So it just takes practice. The more you can get in front of the camera and do it, the better you're going to get. So it really just starts by doing it and just getting some practice in there. And then really fear of judgment. Look, the internet is, me and Wei were talking about this before the webinar. The internet isn't always the nicest place sometimes. Sometimes people will leave comments and say, oh, you know, disagree with things, or some people will leave harsh comments, right? But you've got to remember to put critics in their place too, and think about the people who are actually criticizing anything that's going out there, and realize that, look, a lot of the time, are these people that you really want to take advice from? Are they really people you want to look up to? And really, ultimately, it's about not letting anyone's opinions hold you back from doing what you need to do in your own business. So I often like to ask myself the question, what will it cost you if you don't do this? You know, if you don't follow through, if you don't make a change, and if you don't do these videos and engage with your audience and put yourself out there like you need to do, what's it going to cost you if you don't do that? Wade, were you going to say something there on this stuff?
Yeah, I was just going to jump in about like getting over the barriers. Majority of the time, the first video that you do will be to nobody. So it might be some like friends and family who tune in and watch what you do, but I really wouldn't worry so much and get hung up on what you're going to say, how you're going to look, what you're going to do on your first video, because everybody starts with an audience of 0. So, and that's what you build over time. It's not worth not doing it for fear of, you know, what people are going to think and what people are going to say. In saying that though, if you do decide to post it as a replay and have it up there, it's going to be a good resource for you later on for people to come back and see what content you put in there. So a live video is not always, you know, who's actually tuned in live. It can be used later on. But yeah, everybody starts with a very small, like low to no audience. So yeah, you just got to get on with it.
That's right. Yeah, 100%. You just got to go out there and do it, and just put yourself out there, and start. You can start to build momentum from there. But like Wade said, a lot of the time when you start to do live video, you might not get that many viewers to start with. So you know, don't be disheartened by that, but just keep going through the process. And we're going to talk about some more tips on how to do that today. So let's go over the basics. How do we do a live video? Well, let's talk about Instagram real quick. When you go to your homepage on Instagram, there's a camera button up the top left there, and you just click on that as if you're going to post a story, and then you can go to the live section there and just hit record, and that'll start your live video. And then afterwards, you can post the video as an IGTV video on Instagram, which means it stays on your Instagram feed, and you have been able to post it in your stories as well, but I think that's changing at the moment. That's a real quick basic way on how to do it on Instagram. Facebook, you just go to publish a post here. You know, this is the Hayworth Guitars Facebook page here. Publish a post, and then you can click that camera button, that live button there, and then you can start the live video that way as well. And then you can also share that video afterwards in your news feed too. Let's talk about now the keys to a great live video. So assemble your team. Who's going to be on this journey with you when you do your live video? Is your team just you, or do you have some teammates who will be joining you in this video? I grab usually one of my staff members. Ryan is one of my go-to guys, and the reason I like him in my live videos are because he is so passionate and enthusiastic about the products. He's a gear nerd, right? He's a guitar nerd, right? He loves the gear. Wade and I have talked about him a lot. He's really our ideal customer. He manages my Wollongong store, and he's very passionate about the gear. He's just got a good way with people. He's a very nice, genuine guy. He's a good guitar player, and he's really establishing himself as an expert in the field by knowing all these things. And he's really learned a lot of that from just working in the store and doing a lot of these videos. So ideally, you want to choose someone, you know, who's passionate and enthusiastic about what you do. Ideally, someone who's an expert, but you know, or someone who's close to it. And ideally, someone who's comfortable on camera, but it's not essential. They can learn as they go. And yeah, so that's why I chose Ryan. So think about who's on your team, who can be on your team to join you on this journey here when it comes to making live videos. We're going to talk about now choosing your content. So what sort of content can you do? What sort of content can you make, can you produce in these live videos? You might want to choose to focus on your hottest products or services that you offer. You might want to make a key announcement. You might want to gain some customer feedback and ask your customers questions. You might want to do a how-to video, provide tips and tricks for your audience and provide value that way. And you might want to do a Q&A, you know, get your audience to ask you questions and answer those questions. So just a couple of different ideas. We're going to break these down and go into each separate one now and talk about how to make this work for each one of these. So when we're talking about product-focused live videos, you know, as a retailer myself, we do a lot of our live videos around our products. We could focus on a new arrival, something that's just come in stock and we're excited about it. It could be a new brand that we're dealing with, or it could be an old favorite which we want to go back to and celebrate. It could be, oh, someone's got a phone ringing there. We might have to just mute someone there. So it might be a staff or a customer favorite. That's why we've chosen that product. But really it's about just demonstrating the product and just talking about why you love the product and why your customers love the product. It's not about trying to sell something here. We're not saying, hey, come in and see us today. We're doing 50% off this and throwing this in, and it's a bargain and getting quick. Look, maybe once every blue moon when we do have a really big sale, and we might do something like that as a once-off. But really, most of our videos are focused on being passionate about the product and what we love about it. And there's no hard selling. It's just getting excited about the product. And you can always give people a call to action at the end of the video and say, you know, You can go to our website to find out more, or you can pop in, or you can call us up if you've got any more questions. But really, there's no hard selling. It's just being excited about the product. Talk about what you love about it. Talk about what customers love about it. When we talk about service-focused live videos, if you don't sell product, if you're a service business, I put up here a post that Coastal Fitness Movement have put up about Taylor. She's a yoga instructor. She's doing yoga at the moment, offering that service through the gym. It could be a new service or that you're offering. It could be revisit to an old faithful, similar to the products. And really, it's about doing a live video. You could be demonstrating the service in action. You could be talking about why you're excited about it and the new service, and why you've decided to offer this service, and answer questions that your customers have been asking. Talk about why you and your customers love this service. What's the benefit for them. And it's similar to the product one, guys. It's really no hard selling, just excitement about the service. So if you're in the service industry, it really applies just like the product industry as well when it comes to doing these live videos, getting excited about the service and talking about the key benefits to the customers and why you and your customers love it. Another type of live video you can do is make an announcement, right? You might have something exciting to announce in the business that's happening. Something new that's coming up. It really helps in these videos to really build the anticipation. You want to post maybe before you go live and in your news feed a couple of times in the days leading up, saying you've got an announcement to make and there's something exciting happening. Help to build the anticipation for your audience there, and then to let your customers know you'll be going live to announce, to release the information. So, maybe entice your customers by asking them, what do you think it could be, or have you got any ideas, just to build some excitement and some anticipation, and then go live at the scheduled time to announce, what it is that you have to share with your audience. And you really want to aim to get as many people there for the announcement as possible to build that excitement. So that's another type of live video that you can do. Q&A is another one that you can do with your audience. Instagram's got a really good tool in Instagram Stories to be able to post a question there, or an opportunity for your audience to ask you questions. Just a screenshot that I did the other day, just as an example. You can go to your Instagram Stories and select questions, and then post that in your Instagram Story. So your followers can then, type the questions in there, and you can go back and find the questions they've asked, and you can actually answer them in your stories. But what you can do is answer them in your live video. So you can say, we're going to go live, ask me anything, ask me a question, let's do a Q&A, and compile those questions that people are asking you. So that can be a really cool way to do it. Post a story in the lead up, and really these questions that you're asking from your story here can just be a good way to start a live video. If you're just starting a live video, you're waiting for people to enter the video, then you can start by answering some of these questions that you've been asked in the lead up, and then more people can ask questions as you go in that live video. And maybe have a few common questions that you've been asked before up your sleeve as well. If people are a bit shy to ask questions and that sort of thing, then you can maybe say, well, look, often I get asked this question, or a client asked me the other day, or a customer asked me the other day this, and here's what I would do in that situation. So just to get the ball rolling, and then you can address more questions as you go. So that's another type. Gaining customer feedback is another live video that you can do. Just involving your audience and ask them their opinion. Let them know, if you have something coming up in the business, or you want to know their feedback, and you can talk about, what's happening in your business at the moment. It could be you're thinking about getting a new brand, a new product, or you're thinking about offering a different type of service. But asking them questions, asking them, what do they think about this? What are your thoughts on this? You can do that, you can incorporate that into a live video, and have a bit of back and forth with your customers, with your audience, with that as well, getting their feedback. Tips and tricks is another good one too, that we sometimes do. We might do a, how to restring a guitar video as a live video. We've got there, this is actually a screenshot of my dad here, who actually did a live video on this, but I actually found the old story that we posted in the lead up, of him refretting a guitar, right? So doing a live video, an instructional video, tips and tricks on him refretting a guitar was really valuable, and it was a really good live video that we did. But we've done live videos on how to restring a guitar, and how to set up your guitar, and tuning the guitar, and that sort of thing. And so any type of value you can offer your audience that way by providing those how-to videos, tips and tricks in the form of a live video can be very useful as well. And it's a cool way of, you might be in the middle of the video demonstrating it, and you might have questions pop up during the video that you can address as you go from your audience. They might ask questions, hey, can you explain how to do this a bit more? What's your advice if you come across this problem? So these how-to videos, tips and tricks videos can work well in the live format as well. Okay, so there are a few different ideas on what you can do in terms of the content for a live video. So what's next? Well, first of all, we want to let our audience know. So the key to a great live video is to really set a time and let your audience know in the build up to it. If you just went right now to your Instagram, to your Facebook, and you've never done a live video before, and you just started a live video, Facebook and Instagram will let your audience know that you're going live, but without really letting your audience know prior to the event, it's a bit harder to build an audience. It's much easier if you set a day and time and you do some posts in the lead up to the live video and say, hey, I'm going live at this time, on this day, and join me for the live video. You might even want to reach out to your friends and to your network personally and send them a personal message and say, hey, I really appreciate it if you jumped on the live video just for the support, just if you're starting out, just to get that support to start with. But setting a day and time is one of the keys to making a great live video and getting a great audience there. So post in your news feed in the days leading up, post in the stories, that same day, letting them know, hey, I'm going live. Here's a screenshot that I took when Wade and I do the Q&As after these videos, after these webinars. I'll often post in the Instagram stories and Facebook stories that day, and usually in the news feed in the days leading up. And as I said, contact your network. You might want to send an email out to your database, text message on Messenger, whatever it is, letting your network know that you're going live at this day and time. Setting it all up. So look, we've all got iPhones or smartphones these days. That's how we do it. I gave you guys a bit of a guide at the start on how to do the basics. But look, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can either do the video, you can literally go selfie mode, hold the phone up here, and start the live video just you if you want to do something short and sweet, or you might want to set it up on a tripod if it's just you. But if it's you and your team member, the way I really like to do it is I like to film my team member, and normally that's Ryan, as you see in the screenshot here on the right side here. Normally that's me filming him, and I'm actually reading the comments and giving shout outs to people who are joining the conversation as we go. And I'll say, hey Ryan, someone's requested this song, or hey, we've got someone who's watching us from the UK. Shout out to anyone in the UK at the moment, so we're engaging with people as we go. And so I usually like to commentate as I'm filming Ryan there, but you might choose to do it if it's just you on your team and you want to do it yourself, selfie mode, set it up on a tripod. But there's a few different ways to do it. So you can experiment with a few different styles there and see what works for you. But I really love giving shout outs to your audience and interacting with them as the video goes. I find that works really well. Involving your audience, as we just talked about. So acknowledging audience members as they join the video. When you have people join the video, you might want to say a quick hi and g'day and welcome. And then reading out the comments. You don't have to read out every single comment. I put, if it's appropriate, sometimes you might get something that you don't want to read out, but you can read out the comments and just have some interaction with your audience that way. And often people can request on Instagram to join the live video with you, so they can actually be in the live video. So you can actually do that with them as well. That's something that you might want to do if that's appropriate. But continue as the video goes to ask questions to your audience, to encourage them to make comments. I'll say a lot of the times in our live videos, I will say, hey, let us know what you think of this guitar. Tell me what you think about it, or let us know what song that you want to hear next, or what do you guys think? And just interacting with them the whole time to encourage them to leave comments and to ask questions. So really important with your live videos to involve your audience during the video, to ask them questions, to acknowledge that they're there, to open that communication up with them. Okay, now sharing the video. So when it comes to these live videos, the thing that I love about them too is that you can keep that video afterwards. So whether you're doing it on Instagram or on Facebook, you can actually keep that video and use that in your marketing campaigns afterwards. So on Instagram, Instagram now, what we do usually after we film a live video on Instagram, we'll usually share that as an Instagram TV video. So that's in our Instagram TV video section of Instagram there. So we'll often do that. And then on Facebook, we'll usually share it as a post in the news feed, so it stays in our news feed there, and then we can share that. I might share that on my personal page once that's done. But that's a more permanent way of keeping these videos. Look, if you did the live video and you didn't like it, then you don't have to do this, but this is just an option to keep it there later so that people can watch that video again and again. But also on Facebook, what we love about it, Wade and I really love this feature, is that Facebook will actually build a custom audience for you from that video. So, you know, if you caught the Facebook webinar, the Facebook marketing webinar that Wade and I did, we talked about the benefits of video for Facebook in your marketing. Because what Facebook will do is Facebook can make a custom audience. So it can take anyone who's watched this video, your live video, it can take anyone who's watched a portion of that video and build a custom audience that you can then remarket to, right? Because anyone who's watched your live video and engaged with it was typically, you know, a potential customer for you, right? They're interested in what you're offering. So when it comes to doing a marketing campaign on Facebook, you can then target that audience, right? You can say, all right, I'm going to create an offer now for my audience, and you can target that specific audience. Anyone who's watched your video will then see that ad pop up. Facebook will also do lookalike audiences for you off that. So they might do a lookalike audience from that video audience as well. So it's a really powerful tool to be able to keep the video afterwards. As Wade mentioned to me before this webinar started, that Instagram doesn't keep the audience from the Instagram live videos, it's just from Facebook. So doing a live video on Facebook is important for this step. But just as an idea, we talked about this. Yeah, lookalike audience is a powerful thing. And it's really what these custom audiences are that Facebook build for you. They're a valuable marketing asset for you guys. And that's really your hot leads that you want to be targeting. So that's why we love live video as well, is because Facebook will keep the video and build an audience from that you can market to. And just as a quick example, just a screenshot, when you get into Facebook Business Manager, you can see here that you can choose a custom audience to market to, and Facebook has this one here, the one that I've circled, videos. So any videos that you've got up on your Facebook feed there, Facebook has them as audiences. And here's an example of a video that I chose, which is a live video. I've chose people who have viewed at least 3 seconds of this video. So anyone who's watched at least 3 seconds of this video, I've made a custom audience from, which we've then been able to remarket to. So just another example of why live videos are great for your business. You can use them in the marketing aspect. Wade, do you want to pipe in there and say your 2 cents?
Yeah, I was just going to say, just on this, we go into a little bit more detail about Facebook ads and the setup in the Facebook marketing webinar. So if you want to revisit that, you can ask Megan, or send us a private message on Facebook or Instagram. We can give you the link to that.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, we've got those webinars available, the previous webinars we've done, so we can send you the links to those. Cool. And look, really with these live videos too, it's great to try it out and to see if it fits for you and to work out your style and that sort of thing. But really, you want to be able to keep this consistent. Consistency is key with a lot of things on social media. So it's the same thing for your live videos. You want to be able to keep the videos coming. So you want to be able to post, do a live video. I would aim for at least once a week when it comes to doing your live videos, and to create a schedule so that you, your staff, your customers, you all know roughly what time and what day of the week you're going to go live. If you have that consistency and your staff and your customers have confidence in that, then chances are you'll start to build more of an audience there. So working out your schedule, stick to it, let your customers know, let your staff know, hey, look, we're going to be going live this time, this day, every week. And same time, same place, same channel. People just love that consistency. So I just put that aim for at least one live video per week. You might want to do a couple per week. Normally we might do a couple per week at Hayworth Guitars, but I'd aim for at least one live video per week and try and keep it at the same time on the same day. And let's talk about the best time to go live. So this is really going to come down to a bit of trial and error from your from your side of things, but typically I find for our live videos that around lunchtime is normally a good time. We aim sort of between 12:30 and 1:30. Sometimes we miss the mark and other things come up during the day, as it can happen, you know, being a business owner. But typically when people are eating their lunch can be one of the best times. Between 12:30 and 1:30 p.m. people are often on their phones looking for things, looking for that quick source of entertainment for their lunch break. So that time usually works well for us. So that might be a time that you want to experiment with. Another time that can work, and this is not something we typically do at Hayworth Guitars because we're normally closed then, but live videos can work after that 8:30 p.m. mark when people are looking for that longer term sort of entertainment after dinner. Another time you can try is in the morning when people are waking up. But typically from my experience, I normally try and go for around lunchtime. I find it's normally the best sort of time for live videos for us. But it's really about working out what's the best time for you when your audience is going to be the most active, and maybe you can do some trial and error there and just test it out and to see what time. But as I said, consistency is really key there. You want to try and keep the same time, same time, same day every week if you can, to keep that consistency there for you, for your staff, and for your customers. All right, so let's talk about some of the things that we've covered today. We talked about what holds us back with live video and overcoming the barriers, and really, it's really just about getting out there and having a crack. I mean, I've talked to a few of my clients and really encourage them to make video content, to make these live videos, and a lot of the time they knew they needed to do it, but they just needed that little bit of that nudge to push them in the right direction, just to say, hey, come on, let's do this, let's make this happen, you can do it, right? So just, this is me giving you guys just that little bit of a nudge right now to saying, look, you can do this. It's not that hard. It's really quite easy to do from your smartphone these days. It's really just about having a crack and just giving it a go. So as we talk about with a lot of these webinars, if you get anything from it, just take action. Take some form of action, even if it's just scheduling when the video is going to be next, or talking to your staff, brainstorming some ideas about what sort of content you can do in your live video. But really, it's just take some sort of action from this webinar, and getting over what holds us back, building confidence. It's all practice. So you really just have to start doing it, and then you'll figure out your groove. You'll find your way of doing things. It might not be the same way that I do things, but you'll find your own way, of doing things and what works best for you. Start to assemble your team. Think about who can join you on this journey, making these live videos, who can be your partner in crime, who can be the person you can bounce off, right? Start to work out who that team member can be for you. Think about what type of content you can do. Do you want to do a Q&A type video? Do you want to get customer feedback? Do you have a great announcement that you can make? Are you in the retail business? Do you have a product that you can showcase for your audience, or do you have a service that you want to showcase? Or can you do some how-to videos, some tips and tricks on how to do things? So a couple of different ideas for you guys when it comes down to content. And letting your audience know ahead of time is important. So let your audience know when you're going to go live, posting your newsfeed leading up, posting your stories leading up, and making sure people know when you're going live, when that time is, so they can jump on as well. And maybe you want to email your database, connect with some of those friends and your network individually by sending them a message and saying, hey, I'm going live, jump on board. I'd love it if you were there. So letting your audience know is crucial to helping your live videos really kick off. Involving your audience, so making sure you're asking questions all the time through the video. You're mentioning them when they join the conversation. You're reading out their comments and their questions as well. So involving your audience during the live video is really important. And then we talked about sharing the video afterwards and how that's really powerful for your marketing campaigns, to be able to keep that video there, especially on Facebook, so that then later it might be a long time down the track, it might be months, even years down the track that you want to do a targeted marketing campaign, but that audience will always be there for you, which you can use for your digital marketing. And lastly, I just put there to keep it consistent. Look, the key with live videos to making them work, keep it consistent. Same with a lot of your social media posts and that sort of thing. Keeping it consistent is really key to making this work. So, so that's making live videos, guys. If you have any more questions, my email is right there. All you need to do is send a quick email if you have any questions. But Wade and I are going to now, if you have any questions, chuck them in the chat box there, and we'll start to address them now. But we're also going to do a live video straight after this webinar and address any more questions there too. But yeah, if you have anything really in-depth that you want to talk about, you've got my email there, glenn@resolvecoaching.com.au. And we're going to be going live after we finish a few questions here at the Facebook page, Resolve Business Coaching, or on my Instagram, glenn_Hayworth_coach. So, so we can address any questions here right now. Wade, did you have anything you want to chuck in now, or you want to leave it for the Q&A?
No, I think it's pretty much all covered, but yeah, happy for any of the Q&A to come through now.
Yeah, so we might throw it back to you, Megan, and see if you want to join us for the Q&A part, and see if you have any questions there that we need answering.
Yeah, excellent. No, look, I'll definitely join you for the Q&A. I have a real problem with videoing anything for Facebook or Instagram. I think you are so right about just getting it out there, and don't be a perfectionist about it, because we can all pick holes with the things that we do on video, and the key is to get it out there and do it, and just be consistent with your message, and have a go. There's no point having a wonderful product or a service if you don't get it out there. So yeah, look, I'll definitely join you. But also, just to confirm that every Monday we give an update on COVID-19 and any financial ramifications or incentives that have been announced. And also we feature another topic as well, and we've been focusing on who your ideal client is. So it's more of a business planning session that we have, and also the who your ideal client is critical for any type of marketing or online or digital strategy that you want to have as well. So thanks again for joining us, and I'll be logging on with you guys live. Is that the right terminology, logging on with you guys?
Yeah.
Listening in. Yeah, so yeah, I can't wait.
Cool. All right. So do you want to wrap it up there then, and we go over to Facebook and Instagram?
Excellent. Thanks again, and thanks for an excellent presentation. And I hope to see some great content and some videos being put up by our local businesses. So thanks again.
Sounds good. Thanks, Megan. Thanks everyone for joining. See you next time.